Hello everyone, my name is Rahul and I am covering the microeconomics HL Hauser series, and in this video I will be covering 12th chapter of the revealed preference theory of demand by Samuelson earlier on. Okay, so you can contact me through these links. Please give your reviews. And moving on, this is the chapter 12 of the HL Hauser microeconomics revealed preference theory of demand by Paul Samuelson. So earlier on we had discussed Hicks and Marshall indifference curve analysis, how the theory of demand work over there. We have already discussed that in greater detail. Those who have not discussed, who have not gone through these, please watch those videos, and it will be they what they choose is they prefer psychological demand of the consumer. And psychological demand of the consumer means the preference of the consumer that was given over there, like here the consumer preference is given. So in that way we determine the IC curve. But in this in Samuelson what happen is actual behavior is market determined, not the consumer determined. Earlier on we were asking the consumer that you should order some products, like you prefer A B equivalent, but we will not be doing this in this Samuelson revealed preference theory. We will be determining the IC or the demand curve of the consumer in the market through the price income situation. That is, if we will fluctuate the price and we will see how the consumer is behaving by not asking the consumer, but by watching what happen in the market. This is what the basic difference in the Samuelson revealed preference theory, and this is one of the basic main advantage of the Samuelson theory over Hicks and Marshall, because in Hicks and Marshall we were asking consumer to order some products, to prefer, to give the preference. But how can we ask the consumer about their preference? So Samuelson give this theory, so it has some sort of advantage and disadvantage too. We will be going over that as we proceed. So it is behavioristic explanation of demand. Okay, behavioristic explanation, and based on ordinal utility, not quantifiable like in Hicks. It was quantifying the utility. And what is behavior and psychological? Behavior is as we see Samuelson, behavior is what the market is behaving. Psychological is how the consumer is giving their psychological preference. Earlier on, as we proceed through the IC is what? IC is indifference curve. At IC, so suppose you have A B C D E, these are all equivalent. Consumer prefer A equivalent to B, equivalent to C, equivalent to D, and equivalent to E. But this is not going to happen in Samuelson. Samuelson will be giving strong, in Samuelson we will be giving strong preference. That is, if I choose A, then I will reject B, C, D, E. It is not like equivalent. So you have range at indifference curve, you have range of set of x and y which are equally preferable. But in Samuelson, consumer revealed his preference based upon strong form of preference. No indifference is there. A B C D E, consumer chooses A and reject other, that is strong ordering is there. Earlier on in the Hicks and Marshall there was weak ordering was there, but here strong ordering is there. Like here I have shown A B C D E F G. So this is the strong order of preference. If I choose A, suppose where the cursor is, if I choose A, that only shows is I reject all of these combination B C D E F G. All these combination are rejected and I chose A because this is showing us strong preference of the consumer, or on the basis of the prices and situation in the market. So if suppose PL is the budget line and good Y over here and good X over here, and suppose consumer chooses A, So what does that mean is if uh, all of these are inferior combination. The on the PL except A and below PL, all of these combination, all of these ordering, all of these product combinations are inferior goods. And if I move above A, what does above A means is, above A means beyond OM and beyond ON, this one, that means this section, both condition has to be there. Above OM is this section and above ON is this section. So these are superior combination, these are inferior combination, and these are superior combination. All points on a below curve are strongly ordered, that is no indifference. We have already discussed this. Or two combination of goods cannot be of same preference. If A is chosen over the other, superior set more of a commodity, superior set is showing more of a commodity is preferable. Now the basics funda is clear. Basic funda is only this, that there he has strongly ordered every combination in the graph. Earlier on it was weak ordered. Weak ordered means we were able to distinguish, or we were able to identify the indifference curve A equivalent to B equivalent to C, but here it has been strongly ordered. Okay, now the assumption. What are the assumption he has assumed, Samuelson? So basic assumption is consistency postulate. What it means is, if one prefer A over B, if one prefer A over B at t0 time, then he cannot prefer B over T at t1 time zone. So this is the consistency postulate that shows that a consumer is being consistent over his consumption. He will not be varying his consumption based on the or he will not be in an inferior combination based upon the if price is based upon the prices situation. He will not be varying those. You will be this will be clear more as we move on. So now this is the suppose there is good y and good x over here, and this is the budget line. PL is our budget line. Suppose I was satisfied at point A, that is I am consuming this much amount of x and this much amount of y. Now prices of PX decreases. PX decrease means I will be consuming more of, suppose O is there, more than OL, that is OL dash. Because prices are decreased, that means I will be consuming more of a good of X quantity and less of a goods of Y quantity. Okay, so suppose on PL dash I chose B instead of A, because A is available. Look at this, A is also available at P dash L dash, but on P dash L dash he chooses B, but on PL he chooses A, and on PL he can also choose B. जब PL budget line थी, he rejected B and he choose A. उसने B को reject किया और A choose कर लिया. That means B is inferior according to PL, but according to P dash L dash he chooses B and he consider A as inferior. So this is the contradiction to the assumption. So it is a inconsistent choices that the consumer has presumed. So this is a wrong case. So inconsistent as on PL, A and as A also comes under P dash L dash, so he should have buy it, but he chooses B. This is the explanation. Now see another case. What happened is, suppose I was having a budget line PL and I chose A over here, and if prices of X reduces or prices of Y increases, if X increases, prices of X decreases, then obviously I will be consuming more, that is OL dash. So suppose I satisfy at B point. Now B point was not available under PL. This has to be noted very carefully, that B point was not available at PL. In fact, this area where the cursor is moving, this L dash B, this one area is not available earlier on. So this whole of the area can be chosen by the consumer. It will not be inconsistent, it will be consistent. So if a consumer chooses B on P dash L dash, it is a consistent choice, as A on PL and B was not available earlier on, cannot buy A from P dash L dash. And see, one more point is here, he cannot buy A from P dash L dash. Okay, so A is outside P dash L dash over here. So now there is a second assumption he has assumed is transitivity. If A is greater than B and B is greater than C, greater means preference, he prefers A over B, and if he prefers B over C, that means he also prefers A over C. These are the basic assumptions of revealed preference theory. Now, consistency postulate of revealed preference is more rational than utility maximization assumptions of Hicks and Marshall. This makes sense also, because you may behave in the market, when you go to the market to buy a certain kind of products, you behave in a consistent way. Consistency is always there in the consumer behavior, apart from the certain circumstances that he could face in the market, but he shows the consistency instead of maximum utilization. Maximum utilization, he will not be having maximum satisfaction. How can चाय पीते ही रहे 30 कप चाय थोड़ी ना पी सकते हैं. तो there is a certain kind of revealed preference that he will be giving. So a consistency postulate that a revealed preference by Samuelson has assumed it is more of a satisfactory also. It is not like that he all of a sudden came with an idea. See, these comparison has to be made between Samuelson and Marshall and Hicks. Until and unless you go through the advantage and disadvantage of these three people, you cannot get what they are revealing to us. It is very, very important. So I have covered critics and advantage and disadvantage. We will be seeing that. Now we want to derive the demand curve from the revealed preference hypothesis. This is one of the major thing that we were seeking, theory of demand. We want to derive demand curve from this. How can we determine the demand curve until and unless the consumer revealed us? मार्शल ने क्या किया था? मार्शल में तो हमने सीधा पता किया था ना, we have already explained that prices are inversely proportional to the quantity demanded. But how can in the Samuelson we will be determined that? Let's see. So Samuelson and DDA's demand curve relate prices and quantity demanded by positive income elasticity. Okay, we will be explaining this, just wait on. So if what is how the income elasticity is? What is income elasticity? First of all, tell me in the comment section. I have already explained this. Nevertheless, I have to tell you here also, because I know you will not be paying focus that much. So income elasticity is what? If the variation in the income of the consumer, मेरी इनकम थोड़ा बहुत चेंज हुई है, तो उस इनकम के चेंज होने से मैंने क्वांटिटी में जो मैं परचेज़ कर रहा था उसमें कितना फ्लक्चुएशन आया है, दैट इज़ इनकम इलास्टिसिटी. एंड व्हाट इज़ पॉजिटिव इनकम इलास्टिसिटी इज़, अगर मेरी दैट इज़ शोइंग कि मेरी इनकम बढ़ती है, तो आई एम शोइंग अ पॉजिटिव इन द परचेज क्वांटिटी ऑल्सो, दैट इज़ बोथ आर पॉजिटिव. ओके, मेरी इनकम बढ़ती है तो मैं ज़्यादा सामान खरीदूँगा, दैट इज़ बोथ आर पॉजिटिव. We have already discussed this, and elasticity I will be covering this in better details in the coming chapters. And I want to tell you this, that microeconomics by me will be completed in like 20 to 25 days, and I will be covering in the deeper details every topic. So you just have to do one thing, is relate every topic that I teach here with the current also, in the current section, current affairs also, what is happening there. So you can relate the what I am teaching over here with the current section, so that you can remember in the longer term, and you can write a better answer in your examination. So Samuelson did relate P and QD by positive income elasticity. So if only money income rises, and by which QD increases, this is income elasticity. So then if prices rises, price rise means there is an income impact, income lower हो जाएगी, income lower होने से quantity is reduced. This is what he has shown. We will be seeing this in this through this graph. QD, as prices rise, impact income one has. So suppose this is the graph over here. So suppose earlier I good y over here, x over here. Now this is the budget line, AB is the budget line we are having, and on AB I was consuming at Q point, that is this much quantity of x and this much quantity of r. See carefully, okay, listen carefully and see carefully. You will be have a more grasp over the as we proceed through. So now if suppose prices of a goods decreases, prices of x decreases, particularly increases, AB is the initial budget line and prices of x increases, then what happen is, if price increase हुआ, then I will be consuming less of good X. So earlier on I was consuming OB quantity of good X. Now I will be consuming less, that is OC, because prices increase has made me to spend more, and I will be having less income left with me, so I will be consuming less of the good X. So suppose this is the budget line, we have already discussed that, I don't want to repeat it. So this is the budget line. Now AC is the budget line. Now what we did is, मैंने क्या किया, मैंने जितना प्राइसेस इंक्रीज होने से मेरी इनकम घटी थी, मेरी इनकम पे इम्पेक्ट हुआ ना, इनकम मतलब इनकम पे इम्पेक्ट होना मतलब परचेजिंग पावर पर इम्पेक्ट आना, प्राइसेस इंक्रीज हुआ, मैंने लेस ऑफ ए गुड ख़रीदा, देन मैंने उतने ही अमाउंट की आपको इनकम बढ़ा दी, दैट इज़ पैरेलल टू AC I draw a line DE such that it crosses the Q point, it passes through the Q point. Now and you just need to remember one thing, is that DE shows prices which are higher than AB पर prices lower है और DE पर prices ज़्यादा है, DE पर, बिकॉज DE पर D हमने कैसे ड्रॉ किया है, D हमने तब ड्रॉ किया जब मैंने आपको कुछ इनकम वापस दे दी, क्योंकि हमारे प्राइसेस को कंपनसेट करने के लिए कि प्राइसेस बढ़ गए हैं, जैसे पुअर पीपल होते हैं, दे कैन नॉट अफोर्ड, सो गवर्नमेंट क्या करती है, डायरेक्ट उनके अकाउंट में पैसे ट्रांसफ़र कर देती है. आई एम गिविंग यू जस्ट एन एग्जांपल. सो गवर्नमेंट पैसे ट्रांसफ़र कर देती है टू मेक देयर बजट लाइन लाइक दिस DE. So if their budget line is DE, so if suppose it intersect at point Q, at the same passes through the point Q that AB was passing, but the difference is at AB suppose X1 price is there, and at DE X2 price is there, and X2 is greater than X1. You just need to remember this, that X2, that price is at DE is greater than AB, जो बजट लाइन DE पर है. नाउ Q अवेलेबल एट AB बट नॉट ऑन AC पर तो नहीं होगा. नाउ लेट्स इंक्रीज इनकम बाय सेम प्रोपोर्शन विच वॉज टेकन अवे बाय प्राइस राइज. नाउ Q passes Q DE पैरेलल, ये मैंने डिस्कस कर दिया है. नाउ मूविंग ऑन, DE रिप्रेजेंट हायर प्राइसेस ऑफ गुड X, like we have discussed. Now the question to the consumer is, because here we are back on revealed preference, that is each and every product over here is strongly ordered. Strongly ordered means he cannot, he was at AB, when prices are lower he was consuming Q quantity. Now the prices has increased, so he will not be having QE, because QE is under AB, and if under AB, that is all are inferior under OBA only except Q, because all of the goods on in these triangle are strongly ordered, so he will not be consuming QE on DE. Now he will be left with DQ and this area ADQ. So consumer has only two choices. What are the choices that consumer has on DE? When price is increased and his income has been compensated, that either he chooses Q, okay, either he is Q, or either he chooses this area ADQ. In this combination he has to make the consistent choice. So this is the choices he has. Now let's see. So either he chooses Q or area ADQ, as the area is not available under AB line, so it's a consistent choice. Now, and if anything less than Q is inconsistent choice, that is QE, that I have already shown you. In area ADQ, QX has decreased from point Q as PX has increased, so showing inverse relation between prices and quantity demanded. Now this is what I want to show you is, suppose I was at Q. Now we have taken an example of price has increased. So if I choose a point over here, suppose if I choose a point over here, what it shows is quantity of X has decreased. Earlier on I was consuming this much quantity of X. Now if I choose if I prefer a point over here or here or here or here, anywhere in this triangle ADQ or on the line DQ, any point on it will be consuming less of good X. क्यों लेक्स, और ये क्या शो कर रहा है, दैट इज इनवर्स रिलेशन बिटवीन प्राइसेस एंड क्वांटिटी. क्या हुआ कि हमने प्राइसेस बढ़ाए, प्राइसेस बढ़ाने से हमारे पास सिर्फ ये चॉइस रहेगी, अगर मैं कहीं पर भी चूज़ करता हूँ यहाँ पर, तो यहाँ पर मेरी क्वांटिटी एक्स डिक्रीज़ होगी. डिक्रीज़ तो ये इनवर्स रिलेशन शो कर रहा है. सो दिस इज़ शोइंग अस द डिमांड थ्योरम. हमने ये ड्राइव कर लिया है कि रिवील्ड किया है हमने, मतलब कंज्यूमर ने ना तो हमें बताया, दैट इज़ व्हाट वी हैव रिवील्ड थ्रू दिस प्रेफरेंस थ्योरी, कि प्राइसेस आर इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द quantity. Now this is the case of when prices of X increases. Now let's see another case when prices of X decreases. Now here the prices of X, suppose I was at AB curve. Now when prices decreases, quantity should be increased now. So this will be, we will be explaining here, that is P is inversely proportional to quantity. I was at equilibrium at or choosing Q at Q on AB when prices at AB. Now suppose the prices has decreased. So prices has decreased, budget line will be AC dash, that is I will be consuming more of good X. Now because of the prices has decreased, my income effect has increased. So what I did is I take away the income effect that has been created by the decrease in the prices. So initially BL, AB choose Q, PX decreases, then BL is budget line over here. So budget line move to AC dash, creates income impact which is positive. If I decrease or take away the income, same with respect to prices decreases, so DE parallel to AC dash, such that it passes through Q. Now what happen is, now consumer has two choices over here. So he at he he chooses Q, that is he rejected all of these product, so he will not be consuming on DQ. I am saying on DE is DE और AB में क्या डिफरेंस है? AB shows prices जो यूजुअल prices थे X1, और यहाँ पर DE shows prices X2, and X2 here is less. Earlier on it was higher and it is less, so he cannot choose DQ because at DQ क्या होगा? This is under AB, so these are inferior, so either he can choose Q or either he can choose this set of area BQE. Now if he chooses any point over here where the cursor is, so what it shows is quantity of X has increased. Quantity of X has increased due to prices has decreased, so it is showing us inverse relation. Okay, so this is what I was telling you guys. DE, remember prices are lower, so AB per prices as usual before falling. This I have so covered you by telling my vocal combination not available earlier with respect to AB. Now on DE, consumer will not choose left of Q, that I have already, because inferior, so he has three choices, that is choose Q or choose QE, which was not available earlier, or choose QBE, but on QE has more quantity है, तो वैसे लिखा है. So now if I see those choices, if he chooses Q, what it means is even after falling the prices, same quantity of goods he is consuming, that is substitution effect is 0. ये क्या शो कर रहा है? अगर मैं यहाँ पर प्राइसेस के रिड्यूस होने के बाद भी, और इनकम इम्पैक्ट तो मैंने पहले ही ले लिया तुमसे ना, DE पर इनकम इफेक्ट तो मैंने ज़ीरो कर दिया, क्योंकि आपकी इनकम मैंने रिड्यूस कर दी जितना प्राइसेस रिड्यूस हुए थे. तो अगर मैं फिर भी ये चूज़ करता हूँ पॉइंट Q ऑन DE, दैट शोज़ कि मेरा सब्सटीट्यूशन इफेक्ट भी ज़ीरो है. दिस इज़ द मेन thing that I want to tell you guys. So moving on, and if QX is increased, QY declines, this shows the inverse relation. Implicit assumption है ये. this देखो हमने यहाँ पर जो डिमांड कर्व ड्राइव की है ना, कि P is inversely proportional to Q. पहले क्या होता था, हिक्स एंड मार्शल में हमने ड्राइव किया था वो, मगर हम लोग यहाँ पर ड्राइव नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम लोग यहाँ पर इम्प्लिसिट रिवील्ड कर रहे हैं. दिस इज़ द वन ऑफ द लैकूने और वन ऑफ द ड्रॉबैक ऑफ द रिवील्ड प्रेफरेंस थ्योरी, आई गेस, बिकॉज यहाँ पर हम उसको ना रिवील करवा रहे हैं, हम अपनी ऑब्जर्वेशन से रिवील करवा रहे हैं, ना कि अनलाइक मार्शल एंड हिक्स. दिस आर नॉट दोज. Okay, now moving on. Now we will see the breaking the price effect, substitution and income impact. Now suppose initially AB is our budget line and I prefer Q. This is good Y, good X, so far so good. Now if prices decreased, what it means is I will be prices of X decreased, that is our budget line will be AC dash, because I will be buying more of good X. अब मैं इतना buy करूँगा. So and at AC I prefer R. I can prefer R because R was not available earlier under AB, so it is a consistent choice. Now what I did is, because of the decrease in the prices of X, you have certain amount of income left. Now what I did is I take away those income impact, so I draw a parallel line to AC, that is DE, which passes through Q. This is very necessary क्योंकि हमें substitution impact दिखाना है ना, तो हमें यहाँ से गुजारनी ही पड़ेगी कि इसके बिहेव में हम कहाँ पर लाई कर रहे हैं वो हमें दिखाना होता है। नाउ एट DE इनकम इम्पैक्ट तो चला गया, अब सब्स्टिट्यूशन इफेक्ट दिखाएगा, मगर DE पर याद रखना प्राइसेस लोअर है, और AB पर प्राइसेस ज़्यादा हैं। सो तभी तो हम दिखा पाएंगे ना सब्स्टिट्यूशन इम्पैक्ट। अब क्लियर हो रहा होगा ना शायद कि जो मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया था पहले कि सब्स्टिट्यूशन इफेक्ट, इनकम इम्पैक्ट कैसे अब ये बिहेव कर रहे हैं। तो दिस मेक्स सेंस ऑल्सो कि AB पर प्राइसेस ज़्यादा हैं, DE पर प्राइसेस कम हैं। सो अर्लियर आई वॉज सपोज एट DE I satisfy at S point. Now only substitution. Now income impact is not over here. So if I move from Q to S, suppose that means this is the MN is the substitution impact. This is the substitution impact. And what will be left if अगर मैं आपकी इनकम रिस्टोर कर दूं तो आप R पॉइंट पर आ जाओगे, that is you will be buying NH quantity more due to income increase, that is showing income impact. I hope I am making sense and I have better explained this in a simple and simplest manner. MN is substitution impact only. सब्स्टिट्यूशन इम्पैक्ट हम कब दिखा सकते हैं? जब प्राइसेस में एक के प्राइसेस ज़्यादा हो, एक के प्राइसेस कम हो, AB पर प्राइसेस ज़्यादा हैं, DE पर प्राइसेस कम हैं, तो हमने इन दोनों पर सब्स्टिट्यूशन इम्पैक्ट दिखाया। इनकम इम्पैक्ट कब दिखा सकते हैं? जब हमारी इनकम बढ़ी हो। कहाँ से? DE से हम लोग ले गए AC पर आई एम कंज्यूमिंग R, दैट इज़ NH मोर, सो दिस इज़ द इनकम इम्पैक्ट, दिस इज सब्स्टिट्यूशन इम्पैक्ट। सो फार सो गुड। ओके, नाउ but if on DE consumer chooses Q, that is no substitution impact. Okay, अगर हम Q पर ही choose कर लेते। Now I want to here discuss this one. This I personally thought this should be discussed. So what is the difference between Samuelson and Hicks interpretation of the price breakup between substitution and income impact? Now let's move on to this. Earlier on, if I had to, sorry, this is the wrong graph, sorry, I don't know where will we find the I guess here, yeah, income impact and substitution impact over here. Look at this graph. Earlier on, जैसे S पे suppose, no, this is labor supply anyway. Earlier on we were using indifference curve to show the देखो ना यहाँ पर सेम इंडिफरेंस कर्व से पास कर रहे हैं दोनों पॉइंट S और R, मगर यहाँ पर इंडिफरेंस कर्व तो है ही नहीं। We only depend upon the consumer choices in the market, what consumer chooses at this price. This is the basic and one of the important difference between Hicks and Samuelson. In Samuelson, we are not determining through the revealed preference of the consumer. We are just seeing the market behavior. So this is the one of the basic and important. Remember this. Okay, this is why, that is what I want to show you. What difference between that? Here the precise point to which consumer moves is tangency. Hicks में क्या होता है? Tangency point between IC and budget line. This is IC and this is budget line. This is the tangency point, and here this is IC. Sorry, this is IC and this is budget line. M0T is budget line and this is the tangency point. But here this is not happening. Samuelson में हम लोग tangency और वो नहीं ले रहे हैं सब, all points, but here what we are assuming is strong preference. Due to strong preference we do not require these kind of things, okay, because we rejected our, if we choose one of a certain combination of goods. So in Samuelson, all points on and below curve are strongly ordered such that if one chooses a higher preference, he will not be going or falling to a lower from that. So choice of a consumer revealed his preference. Preference reveal कर रहा है ना choice के consumer, but he is not revealing us the indifference. इंडिफरेंस और ना रिवील कर रहा है, वहाँ पर हम लोग बता पा रहे थे मगर यहाँ नहीं बता पा रहे हैं. एनीवे वी विल बी determining the indifference curve here also, but in a slightly different manner that we were determining over there in Hicks and Marshall. So moving on, so here substitution effect determined through logical ordering and cannot measure exact size. हमें एग्जैक्ट साइज थोड़ी ना पता लग रहा है यहाँ पर सब्स्टिट्यूशन इम्पैक्ट कितना है, जैसे हमने ऑर्डर से ही उसके पता किया. बट यहाँ पर वन ऑफ द बेसिक लोचा क्या आ जाता है कि जो हमने यहाँ पर सब्स्टिट्यूशन इम्पैक्ट शो किया है MN, इसके अंदर स्लाइटली इनकम इम्पैक्ट भी देखने को मिल सकता है. क्या पता हो, क्योंकि हम श्योर नहीं है. वहाँ पर श्योर थे, वहाँ पर श्योर इसलिए थे क्योंकि हम IC से पता लगा रहे थे, मगर यहाँ पर हम just on the basis of a consumer market theory we are determining S point. बट हमें क्या पता कि S point एक्चुअल में है या नहीं है. तो S point के अंदर MN के अंदर सब्स्टिट्यूशन क्या पता इतना हो, सपोज करो जहाँ पर कर्सर है इतना ही हो और इतना इनकम इम्पैक्ट ऐड कर दिया हो. So there are lacunae to these points also. It's not like it is always perfect. Every theory has some lacunae point over there. So now determined through logic and cannot measure exact size. Okay, this you have to see. Now two type of substitution effect. We have already covered this. Here the Hicks and revealed preference substitution effect. We will be explaining this in the coming section, so just I am reading it for your satisfaction. Here real income gauges the level of satisfaction. Considering level of satisfaction same, satisfaction means IC, इंडिफरेंस कर्व पर हमारा सेटिस्फेक्शन सेम रहता था ना, तो हिक्स में हमें ये अज्यूम कर रहे थे इफ़ प्राइसेस चेंजेस QD ऑल्सो चेंजेस विद रिस्पेक्ट टू दैट की सेटिस्फेक्शन सेम करनी है. प्राइसेस के किसी प्राइस देखो ना यहाँ पर प्राइसेस अगर घट रहे हैं बढ़ रहे हैं तो IC हम लोग उसी हिसाब से मूव कर जाएंगे. प्राइसेस अगर घट रहे हैं तो हम लोग IC इस पर नीचे मूव करेंगे IC के, तो क्योंकि IC के नीचे मूव करने का मतलब क्या है, X में ज़्यादा कंज्यूम करूँगा. सो हिक्स में क्या होता था, जैसे प्राइसेस चेंज होते थे हम Q को भी मोल्ड कर लेते थे उसी हिसाब से ताकि हमारी सेटिस्फेक्शन सेम रहे. ओके, level of satisfaction is caused by real income, but here what happen is here real income is purchasing power of consumer, because here we are only seeing from the market point of perspective instead of income of the consumer. It will be making more sense as I will be explaining later on the points. Here he assumes purchasing power to be same, which means if Px declines, prices of X declines, consumer may be consuming same quantity of goods, so that his purchasing power to be same. Okay. Now moving on, advantage of Samuelson over Hicks and Marshall IC demand theory. One of the basic is Samuelson apply behavioristic method instead of psychological. Psychological में क्या होता था, he has to ask the consumer, but here he is just observing the market situation. He can by strongly ordering those products कि आपने एक बार मार्केट में ये चूज़ कर लिया तो you will be consistent with this choice and this is the your behavior is going to be like this. So on the basis of this he drew the demand curve. Now what happened earlier on instead of maximum utility model in Hicks and Marshall, Sam is Samuelson, short name for Sam. Isn't it funny? No, isn't. So Sam gives up utility maximum utilization theory. बिकॉज इट इज़ वेरी डिफ़िकल्ट टू यूटिलाइज। हम लोग कहाँ तक यूटिलिटी को कब तक मैक्सिमाइज़ करेंगे, इतनी यूटिलिटी पर हमें नेगेटिविटी आने लग जाएगी कि हमने इतनी चाय पी ली, वो एसिडिटी बना रही है। चाय छोड़ो यार, बहुत पुराना एग्जांपल हो गया कि कुछ भी, मतलब दूध ले लो फिर तो कितना दूध पियोगे। तो देर इज़ अ लिमिट टू सर्टेन थिंग्स। सो ही डिस्कार्डेड कि मुझे तो यूटिलिटी की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है। इंस्टेड ही यूजेस consistency choice of the consumer behavior, which is more realistic too. Okay, now Sam gives up assumption of continuity of IC curve is beneficial, as at some point BL is tangent to IC, but that point combination not actually available in the market, and as real economic world shows discontinuity also. So Sam ने क्या किया, आईसी लिया ही नहीं ना इसने, कॉन्टिन्यूटी आईसी। अब आईसी कई बार क्या होता है कि आईसी इस पॉइंट पर मिल रही है, सपोज करो M1 इज़ देयर एंड टू गिव द मैक्सिमम सेटिस्फैक्शन आईसी इज़ लाइक दिस। ओके, इफ बट समटाइम्स दिस इज़ बियॉन्ड द मार्केट अजम्पशन। मार्केट में वो पॉइंट अवेलेबल ही नहीं होता है, उस पर बजट लाइन और आईसी टच कर रहे होते हैं, टेंजेंट होते हैं, मगर वो मार्केट में तो लाई नहीं करता है, तो देयर लाइज द प्रॉब्लम। सो दिस इज़ वन ऑफ द एडवांटेज की उसने वो आईसी को ही डिस्कार्ड कर दिया, कंटिन्यूटी को, बिकॉज रियल इकोनॉमिक वर्ल्ड शो डिसकंटिन्यूटी, सो ही डिस्कार्डेड दैट। बट देखो ना, उसने खुद ही ये अज्यूम कर लिया है कि कंज्यूमर की चॉइसेस में कंटिन्यूटी रहती है, वो अपनी वाली नहीं देखेगा, सभी एक दूसरे की काटने पे लगे हैं। Revealed preference drive demand curve without assuming that consumer possesses complete market knowledge. This is, we can say, one of the greater advantage. ये डिस्कस करना बहुत ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि इसी से ही आपको पता चलेगा मार्शल और हिक्स में क्या डिफरेंस है, सैम ने कैसे लिया है, सब कुछ है। तो सैम ने तो ये कंज्यूमर पे तो डिपेंड करता ही नहीं है ना, कि कंज्यूमर शुड हैव द कंप्लीट मार्केट नॉलेज इन ऑर्डर टू गिव द प्रेफरेंस और गिव द ऑर्डर टू द गुड्स, कि ए बड़ा है बी से, बी बड़ा है सी, ऐसा कुछ नहीं ले रहा है। अगर एक बार आपने ए ले लिया तो दैट मीन्स कि सारे ही बेकार हैं, सिर्फ ए ही बड़ा है। इट इज़ ओनली सेइंग दिस। ओके, दिस इज़ वन ऑफ द एडवांटेज. So one more advantage is revealed preference curve. We can even establish IC and its convex property. IC convex होती है ना, ये देखो ना, convex है ना. So we can establish the IC and its convex property based on the preference of the consumer in the different market situation. I have explained this point later in the video at the last section. So I will be taking this point over there कि हम लोग IC कैसे डिटरमाइन करेंगे रिवील्ड प्रेफरेंस कर्व से। क्रिटिक ऑफ, इसके क्रिटिक्स भी हैं। क्रिटिक्स क्या है, रिजेक्शन ऑफ इनडिफरेंस। इसने बोल दिया कि इनडिफरेंस नहीं होता। इनडिफरेंस का मतलब क्या होता है, टेल मी इन द कमेंट सेक्शन, मुझे बताना ही पड़ेगा। इनडिफरेंस का मतलब क्या होता है कि A and B आर नॉट डिफरेंट, दैट इज़ हमने वो बोला था ना, A इज़ इक्वलेंट टू B इज़ इक्वलेंट टू C, हमने ऑर्डर दिया था, हमने ये बोल दिया IC पर तो ये होता ना, इनडिफरेंस है प्रोडक्ट, A भी उतनी सेटिस्फेक्शन दे रहा है, B भी, C भी उतनी सेटिस्फेक्शन दे रहा है। एक्चुअल में ऐसे प्रोडक्ट होते हैं, मगर इसने ये तो रिजेक्ट ही कर दिया। इसने तो ये बोला ना कि इधर A होगा B नहीं होगा, B इन्फीरियर ही होगा, ही हैज़ अज्यूम्ड इट। मगर एक्चुअल में तो हमें देखो ना, होता है कि हमें कई बार मार्केट में जीन्स और टी शर्ट लेने जाओ तो देखो, अगर आप इफ़ यू चूजेस 3 टी शर्ट एंड 2 पैंट, और इफ़ यू चूजेस 3 पैंट एंड 2 टी शर्ट, समटाइम्स इट गिव्स द इक्वल सेटिस्फेक्शन, बट इसने डिस्कार्ड कर दिया। बट इट इज़ वन ऑफ द क्रिटिक ऑफ हिज। सो सेम प्रेफरेंस बाय स्ट्रॉन्ग ऑर्डरिंग हाइपोथेसिस वाले हिक्स वीक ऑर्डरिंग। ओके, फ्रॉम सिंगल एक्ट ऑफ चॉइस प्रेफरेंस इज कंसिडर्ड टू बी रिवील्ड। इसने क्या बोला, अगर आपने, वही मैंने बताया कि आप एक चॉइस से कैसे कंज्यूमर की प्रेफरेंस से बता सकते हो। सो एट T0 A इज़ ग्रेटर देन B, So at T1 B is greater than A, but it gives indifference between two choices to situation which violates his assumption. यही बात कर रहा है घुमा फिरा के. Now this is one of the important tools. Sam offers partial explanation of change in the demand as a result of change in the prices. This is one of the important point, and I have already explained this in the beginning of the chapter. is यहाँ पर इसने डिमांड कर्व को क्या एक्सप्लेन किया है. ओनली ही टेल्स अस कि डिमांड, इसने सिर्फ ये हमने ड्राइव किया था कि प्राइसेस इज इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल टू क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड थ्रू द एनालिसिस ऑफ द दिस, कि यहाँ पर प्राइसेस अगर डिक्रीज़ होते हैं तो क्वांटिटी भी वो होती है, सॉरी प्राइसेस इंक्रीज़ हो जाते हैं तो क्वांटिटी डिक्रीज़ हो जाती है. मगर हिक्स ने और मार्शल ने पूरा एक्सप्लेन किया था, ड्राइव किया था वो चीज़ ना, मगर यहाँ पर नहीं कर पा रहा है वो. यहाँ पर सिर्फ ऐसे ही बोल दे रहा है, बिकॉज वी ड्राइव ना. So Sam offers partial explanation of the change in demand as a result of the change in prices. He is only partially explaining this, not in a complete manner like Hicks and Marshall did. So Sam cannot account for Giffen paradox. What happened in Giffen paradox is Q is proportional to P. If prices decreased, quantity demanded decreased. So Sam cannot account for Giffen goods. Giffen goods he cannot explain with this strong ordering of phenomena. So this is one of the critique or drawback. What is Giffen paradox? Giffen paradox is negative income effect outweigh negative income elasticity. It is negative, I suppose. So this I need to explain to you guys. What is negative income effect? Negative income effect is when prices are increased, so it will be creating a negative income effect. Prices बढ़ गए तो हमारे पास इनकम कम रहेगी ना. So अब prices बढ़ने से हमारे पास इनकम कम रहेगी, मगर गिफन में क्या होता है, स्टिल प्राइसेस के बढ़ने से मैं क्वांटिटी को ज़्यादा ख़रीदता हूँ. तो इनकम इलास्टिसिटी क्या होती है? इनकम इलास्टिसिटी इज़ व्हाट, इनकम के चेंज होने से मैं कितना क्वांटिटी में कैसे चेंज आता है. इनकम इलास्टिसिटी वही है ना, इनकम कैसे इलास्टिसिटी खेल रही है. सो दिस इज़ नेगेटिव. वाई नेगेटिव? बिकॉज इनकम क्या हुई है, डिक्रीज़ हो गई है. इनकम तो डिक्रीज़ हो गई है ना प्राइसेस के बढ़ने से, बट क्वांटिटी इंक्रीज़ हो गई है क्योंकि P और Q इज़ प्रोपोर्शनल. सो इट इज़ नेगेटिव बिकॉज इनकम हैज़ डिक्रीज. ये था ना, सॉरी, Q डेल्टा Q बाय Q over delta I by I. This is income elasticity. I will be explaining in the coming videos. Next chapter in fact is this elasticity. Start करने वाला हूँ मैं next chapter, and it is literally one of the most important chapter in the microeconomics. पूरा का ये तो अब तक तो हमने सिर्फ मॉडल्स डिस्कस किया है. असली माइक्रोइकोनॉमिक्स इज गोइंग टू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम देयर, where we'll be explaining the income. Let's leave it up to there, complete it over here. So Sam assumes income elasticity and income elasticity पॉजिटिव पे एक्सप्लेन किया उसने सारा फिनोमेना, एज आई हैव ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन. मगर यहाँ पर इनकम इलास्टिसिटी इज़ नेगेटिव, so he cannot account for Giffen paradox. As simple as this. Now derivation of IC curve through revealed preference theory. Now how can we determine the IC? IC में क्या होता है? Consumer has to give the preference कि I am A is equivalent to B is equivalent to C is equivalent to D. But how can we determine here until and unless the consumer tells us by market itself. मार्केट में हम लोग प्राइस को फ्लक्चुएट करेंगे, that will tell us the IC. Let's see over here. The IC cannot be given but revealed. Hicks में क्या हुआ? Hicks IC curve. By asking consumer to express preference or ranking or ordering goods, assuming that the consumer has complete knowledge. It is not my writing. What happened to it? So, but in Samuelson revealed preference approach, no preference needed or ranking or order from consumer, but in fact is inferred from observing his actual choices in the market. Prices के reduce होने पर उसने क्या खरीदा, क्योंकि यहाँ पर strong ordering है ना, तो we do not need the consumer preferences, we only need the market behavior. So let's see, assumption for Samuelson IC is similar. Consumer consistent choice, A is greater than A is preferred over B, then B cannot be preferred over A. Taste is constant. Preference are transitive relation, A is greater than B. Okay, I don't need to repeat. Now how to derive the IC in revealed preference without consumer help or directly from the market. Now here we will be explaining two cases in where the prices of X decreased and second case is prices of X increased. So if market, then by just varying the prices we can determine. So let's quickly see through this solution. Now at budget line AB, this is our budget line AB, if one chooses combination R, it means below R or AB are inferior goods, beyond R is superior goods. Beyond R, what beyond R means? That beyond OB dash plus, not or, OB dash से ज़्यादा plus OA dash से ज़्यादा, that is this section MRN, that is superior goods section, and in between zone of ignorance. So consumer cannot buy this superior goods because it lies above his budget line, and consumer cannot buy this inferior goods. So the IC, what clear to me is, will be lying in between these combinations, superior combination and inferior combination. So IC will be moving like this. I am sure about this, but I am not sure ki how it will be behaving. So this is the zone of ignorance. IC will be lying in the zone of ignorance. यहाँ पर भी हो सकती थी ऐसे जैसे कर्सर मूव कर रहा है. It can be like this also, it can be like this also. It depends upon the zone of ignorance. So my only task is to narrow this gap of zone of ignorance, so that I can determine the indifference curve. Now let's see how to do that with inferior not superior. So to exactly know IC, we will narrow this zone of ignorance by varying the prices. Now the prices X has fallen and Y has increased. So suppose initially this is the budget line AB. Now the prices of X has fallen, that is, it means I will be consuming more of X, that is OD, and Y increase, that is I will be consuming less of Y, that is OC. Earlier on I was consuming OA. So this is our budget line. And if on CD, earlier on this section of was available, now CD पर क्या होता है कि मेरे पास ये section TBD section is there, which I can choose, not this section. Okay, so because यहाँ पर inferior होता है ना, AB से नीचे सारा inferior है. So on CD also I cannot choose CT because strong ordering is there. So I cannot choose CT, I can choose TD or TBD. These are the two choices I was having. So if suppose on CD one chooses T, now one cannot go left of T, that is CT, as left of T starts inferior goods with respect to AB of R. Okay, so TBD not available earlier, but it is here available now. Now you see the one difference on AB पर उसने R choose किया है, T choose नहीं किया है. That means he is preferring R over T because these are strongly preferred, strongly ordered. So R is preferred over T, R is greater than T. But here if consumer chooses T on CD, that means अगर मैंने यहाँ पर T चूज़ किया है T, that means I prefer T over TBD. यहाँ पर suppose my mouse where the cursor is, T is preferred over the cursor point, T is preferred over cursor point because मैंने assume किया है कि I choose T point, so T is preferred over the cursor point, T is preferred over the cursor, so in a way T is preferred over the area TBD. TBD में जितने भी points आते हैं T is preferred over those all the points. So what it means, what it derives from this is transitivity. So R is greater than T and T is greater than TBD. So it derives is R is greater than TBD. Okay, R की जो preference है वो TBD से ज़्यादा है. So but IC में क्या होना चाहिए? IC में IC is indifference. Indifference, that is A is equivalent to B. So if I was choosing R as a product on IC, IC must pass through R. This you have to remember because I am this is our assumption in fact. So IC must pass through R, but जो R is greater than TBD, so IC will not pass through TBD because TBD has lower preference. और जो IC पर क्या होता है? IC is indifference. Indifference means A is equivalent to B is equivalent to C. So in order TBD to be on IC, it has to be equivalent. R has to be equivalent to TBD, but it is not. So moving on, which passes through R will not pass through area TBD. So our IC will not pass through this area. इस एरिया से नहीं जाएगी. IC will never be like this. So if I repeat this infinite times and I observe the situation by varying the prices of X and Y, I can eliminate this area quite a time. Like next time I eliminate this area, next time I eliminate this area. So तो क्या होगा कि सिर्फ एक ही एरिया बचेगा जिससे सिर्फ लाइन ही पास कर सकती है. This is somewhat where the computer program will help us. हम इकोनॉमिक्स ऐसे नहीं कर सकते हैं. कंप्यूटर प्रोग्रामिंग ही इसी में हेल्प करती है. So now assume this, if prices of Y falls, Y earlier I was at AB, now Y falls, that is I will be consuming more of Y. Now I am consuming, suppose O point is there, OE, or PX has increased, I am consuming less of X, that is OF. So similar way narrows upper zone. पहले हमने क्या किया? Narrows lower zone. This lower zone we have narrow down. Zone of ignorance I am talking here. Now we will be narrowing the upper zone. Now suppose on new budget line, that is EF, this section was not available earlier on, that is this one AER was not available. Now suppose I choose this section S point. Now what S point means is, ये ज़रूर याद रखना कि EF passes through R. If consumer chooses S over R, or as S was not available earlier with AB, so it's a consistent choice. Now this is the superior. Now the superior goods of R are this K, R and this line, and the superior goods of S are U, S, K, this line. Okay, now superior goods का मतलब क्या है? Superior goods, that is preference of it is, or the value of USK basket is higher than S because it's a superior goods, but S is greater than R because I do not choose R on EF. That means S is greater than R. ये तो रिवील ही कर रहा है ना. S is greater than R because हमारे पास EF पर R अवेलेबल था, आर कहाँ पर अवेलेबल था, ए बी पर भी था, ई एफ पर भी था, मगर ई एफ पर हमने आर चूज़ नहीं किया, हमने एस चूज़ किया. ओके, दैट मीन्स एस इज़ ग्रेटर देन आर. बट इससे क्या होता है, तो यू एस के भी आर से बड़ा है, यू एस के इज़ ऑल्सो ग्रेटर देन आर. तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ, आई सी विल नॉट पास थ्रू यू एस के, बिकॉज इन ऑर्डर टू आई सी टू पास थ्रू द यू एस के has to be equivalent to R. So but if IC had to pass through USK, then this should be equivalent, but here it is greater, USK is greater than R, the IC will not pass through, eliminate USK. So we will repeat it till we get IC. One important point to note here is that BL dash pass through earlier BL of R, or okay, this is what I am saying is ये R से ही पास होनी चाहिए. ग्राफ ड्रॉ करके देखना, वरना नहीं पता चलेगा. कन्वेक्सिटी ऑफ इंडिफरेंस कर्व. नाउ वी हैव डिटरमाइंड हाउ टू डिटरमाइन द IC कर्व. वी हैव सीन दैट. नाउ सी द कन्वेक्सिटी. नाउ सपोज इट इज़ अ concave shape. If we assume IC to be a concave shape, so अगर हमने R चूज़ किया है तो यहाँ पर ए बी से नीचे तो सारे इन्फीरियर गुड्स थे, तो हमारी IC तो यहाँ पर आएगी नहीं. IC का मतलब क्या होता है, R शुड बी इक्वलेंट टू H, R शुड बी इक्वलेंट टू G, बट ये तो इन्फीरियर है, तो सो दिस विल बी रॉन्ग केस, यानी कि दिस विल नॉट बी द शेप ऑफ द IC. This is what in a simple layman term, not as GH is inferior to R. Okay, now see this point. If I suppose IC is like this, but LR is inferior to AB and RK is superior to R, so it cannot be our IC in both the case. Now see this is our IC that we have. So in a way I want to tell you is this: simulation, just in simulation we are just determining through our modeling the changes in the prices in the market. We are determining through our interpretation, our revealed preference, our inception to the knowledge of the graphs. We are just determining those shapes. IC demand curve भी हमने ऐसे ही ड्राइव की, उसने कहीं नहीं दिया है कि ऐसे ऐसे चलेगा. IC भी हमने ऐसे ही ड्राइव की, और IC की शेप भी हमने ऐसे ही ड्राइव की. So it is all that's it in this chapter. So I just want to tell you this is, bear with me. I will be covering whole of the microeconomic series in like 20 to 25 days. So next chapter I will be skipping this 13th chapter, that is because this is not regarding the UPSC. My only focus right now is UPSC. So Hicks logical ordering of theory of demand. This is not in the UPSC syllabus, or this is not the important one. So this is, we will be covering elasticity of demand in the next video. This is very important chapter. So thank you. Do reviews the video, do tell me what is right, what is wrong. Thank you. Bye bye.